Okay, bacha. So we have to differentiate this. How will we differentiate it? The only thing that matters here is how easily and how simply you work yourself with this question. It's a very difficult question, but can be solved if you work smartly. This is your u, and your v is x minus 1. Is that right? Now, what is the derivative of u? The power multiplies, the function remains as it is, and the power is subtracted by 1, and it multiplies by the derivative of the function, right? And the derivative of v is 1. So the derivative of u, if I simplify this, that will be 4x and into 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1. Is that right? Is that right? So this is our derivative of u and this is our derivative of v. Now applying the quotient rule, dy by dx is v into derivative of u minus u into derivative of v over v square. Fine. You can also write it as 1 over v square to make things easy for yourself. V into u dash minus u into v dash. Fine. Whichever one suits you. So dy by dx, because the denominator is nothing to worry about, I'll just write it as x plus 1 whole square v square. V is x minus 1 into derivative of u, which is 2 over 3 into 3x square minus 2. Sorry, I'll write the simpler form. Sorry. 4x into 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 upon 3 and minus u is 3x square minus 2 to the power 2 upon 3 and v dash is just 1. Is that right? Now be very careful that this is a step where you have completed your differentiation. You are not differentiating anymore. You are just simplifying. Now you need to look at the things that what do you need to simplify. The denominator, you need x minus 1 whole square, so you do not need to simplify the denominator. In the numerator, you need 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 upon 3 as a common function. Is that right? So if I write dy upon dx, I'll just write it in the way x minus 1 whole square. I'll simplify it. I'll write it as 4x square minus 4x into 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 2. Close the bracket here. And minus 3x square minus 2 to the power 2. Now, students who are not familiar with how to take common tend to get stuck here. When you take common, what do you do? When you open the brackets, what do you do? Whatever is outside the bracket multiplies with every single thing. Is that right? Now, these are the two entities that you have. And what do you need to take common from both? Very good. Negative 1 over 3 is something that you need to take as common because this is the way you're supposed to write it. Is that right? Now understand one thing, whenever we take something common, we are technically dividing every element from that. We did it in the completing square method as well. If I take 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 3 is common, I am left with, in the first one, 4x square minus 4x. And in the second one, what am I left with? If I divide this, can you divide this by 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 3? I'll write that step, don't worry. 3x square minus 2 to the power 2 over 3 over 3x square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 3. Is this right? That is how you take a common. Agreed? Now moving on, I'll just write these two separately. X square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 3. X minus 1 squared. And now I'll deal with this bracket. 4x square minus 4x. What will this become? 3x square minus 2 will have a power of what? Power 1. Well done. So what do you do? I'll just write those steps as well. 2 over 3 minus 1 over 3. That is what you did using simple indices. So dy by dx will become dx square minus 2 to the power negative 1 over 3 over x minus 1 squared, and then you have 4x square minus 4x minus 3x square plus 2. Is that right? So what is your final derivative? You are left with x square minus 4x plus 2. Is this clear? Okay. So how do we differentiate this? U is e to the power 3x and v is 4x plus 1 to the power half. The derivative of u is 3e to the power 3x and the derivative of v is half into 4x plus 1 power becomes negative half into 4, right? Okay, so now the derivative d by dx is u into derivative of v, which is 2 into 4x plus 1. I'll just write it in this form, 2 over square root of 4x plus 1. सही है? Nothing to worry about. Plus v है 3e to the power 3x into square root of 4x plus. Is this right? We have done the differentiation, but we want to simplify it in a particular way, which is we have to convert it into a single fraction. How do we intend to do that? We want to take the LCM, right? And LCM लेने के बाद हम ये तो 2e to the power 3x तो as it is आ जाएगा, right or wrong? Now this entire thing 3e to the power 3x square root of 4x plus 1 will again multiply by square root of 4x plus 1. Is this right or wrong? So when 4x plus 1, square root of 4x plus 1 will multiply by square root of 4x plus 1, what will I be left with? Very good. I'll be left with 4x plus 1, so 2e to the power 3x plus 3e to the power 3x into 4x plus 1. Is this right? Now I'll just take e to the power 3x common and I'm left with 2 plus 3 4s are 12x plus 3. Is this clear? Okay, bache. So in this question, let's see. Our u is 2x, our v is x1 plus x to the power half. The derivative of u is 2 and the derivative of v is 1 over 2, 1 plus x to the power negative half, or under the derivative is 1. So dy by dx is 1 over, if I write it in this particular form, I don't think it should be a problem, is it? Is this fine? Why am I doing so? Because I do not need the final answer in a single fraction, do I? So is writing in this way is better or not? ये दोनों के साथ अलग अलग भी मैं 1 over v square या v square से divide कर दूं, एक ही बात है. So 1 over v का square is square root of 1 plus x and उसके ऊपर square, ठीक है? Okay, now v is square root of 1 plus x into derivative of u, that is 2. Is that right? And minus u is 2x into derivative of v, which is 1 over 2 square root of 1 plus x. Is that right? Should I take the LCM? No, I should not, because I do not need the final answer in a single fraction, right? Now let's get on with simplification. 1 over 1 plus x into 2 square root of 1 plus x minus 2x upon x upon square root of 1 plus x. Is that right? You? So 1 plus x square and root cancelled out, right? Now I'll just multiply this and be very careful. What do I do? 2 square root of 1 plus x upon 1 plus x. I'll write 1 plus x in a bracket so that you understand that it's one single thing, right? Minus x upon 1 plus x into square root of 1 plus x. Now just simplify their powers. What do you get? 2 upon 1 plus x is a power half in the numerator. I'll write it in this way. Half in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. Half minus 1. X upon 1 plus x has a power half plus 1. Or I'll write it as 1 plus half in order to avoid confusion. So dy by dx is 2 into 1 plus x to the power negative half minus x upon 1 plus x to the power 3 upon 2. So dy by dx can be written as 2 over square root of 1 plus x minus x upon square root of 1 plus x. Is this clear?